Here it is, something to believe in. Everybody's searching for answers. Everybody's trying to find some meaning in their life. Where do we belong? Who will be our shelter? Looking for salvation, a haven in the storm. We all need something to believe in. We all need a light to see us through. We all need something to believe in. I found something to believe in a you. I was like a wayward ship drifting out to nowhere, tossing in the raging waters, trying to find my way home. You must be an angel watching over me. Your loving arms, my harbor. Now I know I'm not alone. We all need something to believe in. Oh, yes, we do. We all need a light to see us through. Oh, we all need something to believe in. I found something to believe in a you.
Right, let's take this from the top, right?
Okay, very good.
So yeah, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Yay, and thank you for having me on your show today. I'm very honored.
Oh, great. The honor is all ours. You're an amazing artist. And actually, before I start blowing all the trumpet, let's get you to introduce yourself to us, please.
Well, I'm Miss Freddie, and I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I have been a singer for pretty much all my life, but a professional singer for 25 years. I'm also a nurse. I'm still working full time, yay, and what I love to do. Cancer pretty much sucks. I think everybody would agree to that. And I work on the surgical side of people who have had or have pancreatic, rectal, colon cancers. So I love doing that. Being a cancer survivor twice myself, so I understand the ups and the downs and the in-betweens. And then I'm a mom, so that's just me, who I am,
Wow,
generalization of who I am.
that is a very busy woman. So once again, thank you for sparing us some time out all of that busy schedule to make it on this episode of Meet the Artist. We
You're
are
welcome.
very so let's get into the music. Kind of don't know where to start, which one to start with, because there's a variety of a little bit of everything really. You did a cover of with in the water, which I really love that song, and your take on it is absolutely amazing.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
I really like the track Miss Freddy's Gonna Get You. That is
Yeah, a lot of people like that. It's original song. It was written by a friend of mine. He's also a musician that plays bass. And he actually has written songs for me for the past, let me see, 11 years. So yeah. And a lot of people like that song. It's, that is one of my most requested songs when I'm doing live shows. They're like, "Are you going to do that song?" I said, "Well, I don't have it in a set list, but we didn't forget it." And then it's like, "You got to do that song." So yeah, yeah, it's a fun
pretty
song,
cool.
but it's a meaningful song at the same time.
That's it. It's got a lot of energetic side to you and gets you grooving along. So I can definitely understand why everybody wants to hear it. You're doing a show, and um, hopefully you're going to be ready to be playing that for a very long time, because that is a banger. So now going back into your inspiration, how do you go, because you've been doing music for 25 years, how do you top yourself? How do you get from one music and think, yeah, everybody like this music, I've got to make something better? How do you go through that process?
It's not an easy process because I'm still trying to figure it out and work through it as I move forward. But to go from, I think the song has to hit me, like it has to make me feel a certain way. There are, for example, there are songs out there done by other artists, whether they're local, regional, national, international, and I've trained myself to do this, even if it's an original tune, somebody who's written a song for me brought to me, the first three notes, whether it's the beginning of an instrumental or the singer starting out, I know I will like the rest of the song. And a lot of people are like, well, how do you know that you haven't heard the whole song? I said, you really have to. I clear my mind. I totally relax myself. I have nothing going on if I'm really going to listen to a song. And that's how I work through it. And even songs that I sing, they have to be songs that, okay, if they got the attention of my bands, they've got my attention. Now I've got to make sure they're going to get my audience attention. And so I have to be very, very open to that. There are a lot of songs that I've turned down that I just won't do. I'm not saying they're not good songs, but they didn't do anything for me. So can you imagine me singing a song that didn't do anything for me? Like, how do you think my audience is going to perceive it? So that's how I work through that process.
Yeah, that really makes sense, because at the end of the day, you have to feel the music that you're delivering. So and all through this so many tracks that you've been doing, apart from your most requested, do you have a favorite?
Do I have a preference? Not really.
No.
Well, not really, because I love every last song that I have ever put out. And it just kind of depends on my mood, I think. Or it depends upon, what's going on around me. If I need an uplifting song, then I will sing my latest single that came out back in April, Something to Believe In. If I want to get a little soulful gospel, I'll sing Wade in Water, because I first heard that when I was a child, going to church. And it was so moving, so cool. The choir in that church that I had attended as a little kid, I never forgot that song. If I want something, I want to move around, and it's like, hey, the title, what people have dubbed me, Lady of the Blues, is that. So it just kind of depends. Now if somebody asks me, they're like, well, can you sing this certain song? I'm like, well, sure. So it just kind of depends. It does.
That's part of the artistic side of things, being able to be, you cross different boundaries. So like, the poppy, very vibey song to the jazzy song to the very, very laid back. So there's something for everybody,
Yeah.
which is, what we love the most. So digressing away from music a little bit, let's talk a bit about Christmas. So Christmas where you are, or let's say Christmas through your whole celebration of Christmas, what is your fond sort of tradition about it? What do you love most about Christmas?
What I love most about Christmas is, and I'll have to flip you back a little bit, the music, because I have one favorite song that I used to sing to my kids when they were little. And I sing that to this day. And then the other thing that I love about it, it's the fellowship of people coming together despite whatever's going on in the world today. It's the kindness, it's the love, it's the appreciation, it's the caring of mankind as a whole. Um, and it's one of my kids' favorite holidays, which I just realized is after all these years, because he'll turn on the radio. Matter of fact, they were playing Christmas songs before Thanksgiving. I said that's way too early for me, but I like the whole. I think the fellowship of it all and how people come together. I mean, people come together and help each other. But I think Christmas has that special meaning, the birth of Christ, depending upon what your religion is, the birth of Christ, how people come together, how people help each other, especially if you know the story of Mary and Joseph, and so that's what I love about it. And then there's just the music. There is some beautiful music that has been made throughout the years. There are musicians who have written songs, with the Christmas theme behind it. There are songs that are in public domain that are just absolutely beautiful. And so that's what I love about it because it's a beautiful time of the year for me. And then, of course, when it snows, I love snow sceneries. I absolutely love snow sceneries. I could walk through the woods safely in snow that's not snowing, probably all day long because I think that's my most favorite. And
Okay.
especially, yeah. So those are the things that I love about Christmas.
So does it snow a lot where you are?
Well, in the winter months, yeah, from November to about March, it does. Right now, there is no snow outside.
Wow.
It did snow like about a week or so ago, and it stopped. Then it was raining, so the temperature's been kind of weird. Like we'll go from the 50s to the 40s to the 30s.
Hmm.
So, but I'm thinking we're probably going to get snow in the next couple weeks, hopefully for Christmas, because I'm off Christmas. So, yay.
Yay, that's exciting. So, well, you talk about all these great songs during Christmas, and the ones you like to sing. But there's like an obvious trail of question there. But actually, I'm going to kick it with a little twist. That out of all these songs, which one do you listen to that makes you cringe? That you're like, oh, not this song again, or I definitely not. I Are we allowed to do that?
What some people do. Me, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I've never come across a song that has been played so many times. It's like, okay, one more time, I'm going to cry. Please don't. I've never done that because as a musician and as somebody who loves music, because I listen to all types of music, even though I'm a blues singer that sings gospel and jazz and rock. There's not one song because I'm going to tell you, I have played songs over and over and over to the point that, my kids, when they're around me, they're like, I could see on their face, really? You're kidding. Not again. Please don't. But for me, I don't cringe. Um, I just because I've accepted the fact that, if the music, if it's there and it's there for a reason. So yeah, I have to confess, I don't do any cringing. Sorry. Now I may cringe on something that I do. It's like, I've listened to my song. That's good. Okay, I'm done. I need to go listen to something else. But it's not exactly cringy. It's like, okay, I'm just tired. I'm done. I don't want to listen to it anymore. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And okay, talking about, so you said about obviously you listen to different type of music. You don't cringe at none of them. you just absorb them all in, and you go through your creative side. Um, what got you actually into music? Why did you start music?
I started music as a kid. There was a couple neighborhood friends. We would, pick the latest song that was out back then, and we would just, pretend we were singing in front of thousands of people. We'd probably get a stick or somebody have a hairbrush or something, and we just pretend we're singing. We would sing with the records. And then I started singing in an organized group when I was about 15. The particular church I had belonged to at the time, I was in the choir and I sang my first solo. It was terrible. It was the worst thing on this planet. I said, and that's how I developed my stage fright. That's kind of funny. I didn't have stage fright all that time. And then that one solo, because after the solo was done, the church went silent. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. I will not get up and sing a solo. And I was scared to death. And so throughout the years, whatever church I had belonged to at the time, I would sing in the choir, but no solo, no nothing. Until 25 years ago, I was dating a bass player, and he heard me sing Silent Night, which is one of my favorite Christmas tunes to sing. And he heard me sing it to my youngest. And he's like, I didn't know you could sing it. I'm like, I didn't know either. So he's like, my band is looking for a singer. And they were a blues band. And I kind of like, oh no, to myself. And it took a lot for him to convince me. And I went to audition, and I ended up in the band. They were called Blues Music Works, BMW, like the car. And, I had stage fright. I was scared to death for a whole year. Sat behind the band, faced the wall, faced away from the audience behind the band. And after a year, my mentor, who was also the band leader, Big Al, he said, people want to hear you. And I said, well, people can hear me. He's like, no, they want to see what they're listening to. And of course, I'm cringing. He said, you got to find a way to come out of it. And it took me a very long time, years, to come out of that. I mean, I still have stage fright to a point because maybe the venue is new, maybe the crowd is not the crowd that I was in front of like a week ago or the day before. But I have learned it's really not about me at the end of the day. It's about, do you want these people to enjoy themselves? You put your best foot forward. You care about them enough to be here in the first place. So you do what you have to do. So yeah, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is bad with the stage fright, and 1 is like little to nothing. I think I'm at about a 3. Yeah, I think I'm at a 3 as far as that stage fright being there. So yeah, so that's how I got into it, and I love what I do, and that's the honest to gospel truth. I tell people I just don't say that to be saying it. I said, that's not me. I don't believe in that because I have to be accountable for whatever I do on this planet. And I've never had a lesson, never went to school for music. This was all self-taught. And I started taking vocal lessons back in January of this year with a local musician herself, a vocal coach. She's absolutely wonderful. Her name is Beth Clausen. Hi, Beth. And she has taught a lot of the local musicians. And I'm like, oh, wow, you sound great. Well, they're like, oh, my teacher was. I'm like, same here. I had to take a break from doing, the vocal lessons because it wasn't working with my schedule. I have 3 bands. And my youngest is on the autism spectrum and working full time and running a household, not complaining. It's what I wanted to do, but I had to give up something, and that was fine. So I will probably restart my lessons next year with her because she's a nurse also. It's kind of interesting. I took vocal lessons because I needed to know the mechanics of singing, and that's really important being a vocalist. Because if you don't know the mechanics of singing, how to take care of yourself, your voice, it's pretty much going to be, you're going to suck. So
Yeah.
so that's how I got into music. And the keep moving forward and keep improving, self-improvement, you know, because you have to be better than the person you were yesterday, no matter what you do on this planet. You always have to, like, I'm not trying to compete with so-and-so down the street or so-and-so across state. I'm competing with the sister me from yesterday. I've got to be better than what she was yesterday. So that's how I got into music, and that's why I'm staying into it until the day I leave this planet.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that we're not going to lose you to, you know, going off to do drama or something like that. We're gonna keep you in music. That's great for us. So while we're talking about obviously music, you mentioned a few different tracks that you like, the ones you like to sing. If you could perform any song at all, what track would it be? And why?
Something to Believe In, the latest single that came out in April. It was a hard song for me to get used to at first. It's a cover song written by a gentleman named Frank Wildhorn, who I've never met. But the gentleman that produced it, Brian Cole, he said, I think you should do this song. He approached me with that song last September of 2020. And, you know, with the lockdown and the world just in total chaos, and, you know, the world, you know, didn't know what was going on next and just everything. And he said, this is a good song for people to come back to. You know, if there's something going on with them emotionally, spiritually, mentally, you know, something heartfelt. And so I kept listening to it over and over, and it was a lot of over and overs, trust me. It was to the point I'm like, oh, really? But then, you know, one day I just said, okay, I'm going to do this. This is a beautiful song. I can relate to it. I get it now, you know, and so, and I've sung it a cappella, which I'm really shocked. You know, having instrumentation behind it is great, but you know, if I have a problem on my mind, or something's going on with a patient, a family member, or you know, something personally to me, I'll just start singing a song. And lately, I've been singing that to myself, just walking around singing it. And I've actually been outside back in the summer, and I was sitting on my balcony singing it. And people walking by, they're like, "That's a great song. Are you a singer?" And you know, I tell them. And then because I live in apartment complexes, and till this day, the one lady, she's like, "I got you on my Spotify playlist," and I'm like, "Okay, thank you." And she said she loves that song. She had her kids listen to it, and the kids loved it. So, and that's what it's all about. So that's my go-to song if I need to find comfort myself or give comfort to others. That's the go-to song.
That is absolutely, that sounds, I would second that answer as well, as to it's a song that we can all really relate to. And as you said, it's been a tough year, and you know, knowing that there is something to believe in. Well, as I say, if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. So
that's right.
In the whole spirit of moving forward, just don't get stagnated. You don't have to compete with anybody. It's you, you know, you yesterday, you today, you in the future. As long as you can keep that up, it shouldn't be too sad, because there is something to definitely believe. So would you, you know, bless us with that little number, since we're talking about it and you'd love to sing it?
Sure. Okay, if I start crying, just keep the show going. Because it's, you know, it's just that kind of a song, and it has a lot of meaning behind it. I had it released. Michael Stover, God bless him. He's a great publicist. If anybody ever need a publicist, go to Michael. He represents people all over the nation. And whatever kind of music you do, he's just a great guy, and he believes in his artists, and his artists believe in him. MTS Management, I had to put that out there. But I told Michael, you know, as I kept listening to the song, and then when Brian Cole, who produced it, he sent me the final cut, I cried. I couldn't believe it. And so April 24th is a special day. My mother had passed away in 2015. And my siblings and my nieces and nephews, till this day, they miss her. So I had my siblings listen to it before it was officially released, and they loved it. They couldn't believe it. And I told them why, the story behind it. So here it is, something to believe in. Everybody's searching for answers. Everybody's trying to find some meaning in their life. Where do we belong? Who will be our shelter? Looking for salvation, a haven in the storm. We all need something to believe in. We all need a light to see us through. We all need something to believe in. I found something to believe in a you. I was like a wayward ship drifting out to nowhere, tossing in the raging waters, trying to find my way home. You must be an angel watching over me. Your loving arms, my harbor. Now I know I'm not alone. We all need something to believe in. Oh, yes, we do. We all need a light to see us through. Oh, we all need something to believe in. I found something to believe in a you.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you. And I didn't cry, so that's a great thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And well, thank you so much for not crying, because I can't really console you over the phone.
You're very welcome. Thank you. It was my absolute pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That is really great. So in the spirit of your voice and all that, what sort of artists do you listen to get inspired? What's your go-to songs?
Well, my biggest influence as a blues singer is Coco Taylor. I absolutely love her. May she rest in peace. She was out of Chicago. And she was this woman that commanded the stage, and the band listened to her and her audience. And she sang, she's all over the map. But my favorite song, it's a great blues song, and people, check it out. And if you don't know who Coco Taylor is, check it out. She's on YouTube, Spotify, is Let the Juke Joint Jump. I love that song. It's a great party song. It involves people, the dancers, the band. If you listen to it, it involves your surroundings. And it's like this is all happening, so we got to we got a party going on here. So that's my favorite song of hers. If you're talking about a love song, I love doing ballads. I love Etta James. She's my second go-to vocalist. May she rest in peace too. And even though this song came out in the 50s, Etta James made the song At Last famous. And that's another song. When I started out singing, when I actually ventured on my own to form my own band, I left BMW in the early 2000s. I didn't have a CD or anything, a demo. So I would go around to the different clubs and sing At Last, because that was my favorite song. And to this day, people have gotten engaged. I've sang at their weddings. I've sang at, concerts, and I've done At Last. So There are a lot of artists, but Coco Taylor, Etta James, Nina Simone, Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday. Oh, absolutely. Those are my biggest influence. Oh, and Big Mama Thornton and Bessie Smith. It depends upon what mood I'm in. If I'm rough and ready, I'm going to Coco Taylor and Etta James. If I want to be smooth but still get my point across, I'll listen to Sarah Vaughan or Nina Simone. If I'm just like, you know what, move out my way, here I come, Big Mama Thornton. If I want to be like laid back and relax and it's like, my voice is still coming across, Billie Holiday.
Super. Well, that is an extensive answer right there. Tick all the boxes. So that is great. And to the viewers, as we're kind of wrapping up, where can we go to make sure we get all of those juicy bits and all the hot off the press, as I call them, as they're coming out? Where should we go to?
Well, to look me up, just to check me out, my band, you can go to my website, missfreddy.com. To check out my music, I'm on Spotify. Please add me to your playlist. Oh, and by the way, I have over 102,000 streams on Something to Believe in. Thank you all so much. That is just so from all over the world, different parts. You can find me on iTunes, iHeartRadio. You can pick up my music off of CD Baby, Amazon. Oh gosh, and go to Facebook, my musician page, Miss Freddie, like my page. You can follow me there. I'm on Instagram as Freddie Stover, and you can go to Twitter at Miss Freddie 17.
That is absolutely great. That's spot on. We'll be there to like and subscribe. You're a superstar. Shows obviously from the amount of music you've released. It shows that you have a lot of creative side to you, and it's such an honor to have you on the show. Feel blessed to have you.
Thank you so much, and thank you. I really appreciate this opportunity to be on the show with you, and I appreciate all your listeners out there for supporting musicians like myself, and that's so important because I don't know about musicians out there. I can't speak for anybody else, but I love just doing what I'm doing because I only get one chance in life to do it. So I'm going to take advantage and embrace it, love it. And, if something's not right, I'm going to be accountable. You can come and tell me. I've had people like, Miss Freddie, when are you going to start doing some gospel? So I'm doing gospel with my one band. As I mentioned, I have 3. And, I'm coming out, crossing my fingers, hopefully, and I'm praying that not only my Blues and Roots album, but right after be my gospel album. So I'm very excited about both projects. I'll be talking about busy. I'll be a little busy, but it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I don't get stressed out anymore. Why should I?
That's great. This is what we love to hear. So all of those things in the pipeline, we really can't wait for them to all come up. So we just go and check out missfreddy.com, right?
Yep, missfreddy.com is my website, and go to Facebook, my musician page, Miss Freddie, and like my page and follow me on there because I'm posting stuff on there several times a week. Well, I tried not to post a lot, just some teasers, and then to follow me and a lot of things that I'm doing. So yeah.
That's exciting. Well, so we'll be sure to catch up again soon on the next projects, which I'm sure will be pretty soon. 3 bands, so I can't wait. So until then, thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you, and take care.
Bye.
Bye. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
This is Power Ace Radio.